This is Living at the Highest Level, Episode 8. You're with LATHL, and today I'm sitting down with a good friend of mine, Mr. Pat Cross from Holistic Health Cross Trainers on the Sunshine Coast. It's a few days here before my 29th birthday, so I wanted just to sit down, talk with Pat regarding, the idea of reflection, connecting all the dots, and realizing, all the components that fit in getting us to where we are currently in our environments. It's a great show, and I'm pretty excited to be able to really, disconnect from what's in front of us and look towards the future. I've just had a remarkable last few years of my life, and it's just really cool to talk to someone about it. And if you guys are in the same point in your life where you're just moving on to something different, something that you've been looking forward to, or even getting out of like a relationship, and just kind of reanalyzing where you are and what it is that you actually want to accomplish with your life and how you want to live, this is a great podcast to listen to. And I'll leave it at that. I'll hit you guys with my intro music, and let's get this thing started.
You're listening to Living at the Highest Level with LATHL.
All right, sitting here with Mr. Pat Cross, and man, we've had some technical difficulties trying to set up this podcast. It's actually been a while since I've done this, so I blame my lack of preparation for this turn of events. But we make do, and we end up making things happen anyway. So, Pat, how are you? And how have things been since I last seen you? And if I remember correctly, it was September I seen you last.
Yeah, couldn't be better. Things have been fantastic, unfolding perfectly as always. And the only times it isn't is when I'm telling myself a delusional story.
Time goes by so quick. It's like almost scary. Like this weekend, I'm on the verge of turning 29. And as I reflect back of, my years in the workforce, my years in university, it is scary, man. Like, I went to university when I think I turned 18, and I stayed at university for 5 years.
Right.
So by the time I got out, I was 23. Got my first gig as it's funny enough, my first gig out of university technically I was supposed to be a financial advisor. And I got to the place, and I went through the training, and I'm like, holy God. This does not seem like it's a right fit for my life. It doesn't seem like this is what I want to do with my life, because I look to my left, I look to my right. There are people in their early 40s. There are people kind of like, this was like their fifth career choice. And I didn't want to be insurance seller at that point in my life, because I'm like, man, I'll take a lot of dedication to this craft, and I'm not sure if this is like the calling for me. And funny enough, I got a job offer. And it wasn't really a job offer. It was more like a career opportunity to buy into a business and become a managing partner. So, it was some good terms. I looked at it. I saw a lane for myself that I could, grow and experience some type of change. And I ended up taking it. And I almost didn't take it. I almost called and said, hey, man, like, I've been training. I'm almost done. I might as well stick this through. But it was something that stuck. I think it was like probably Christmas of 2011 that all that was going through. I was still kind of debating still becoming a financial advisor, a financial planner as well. I think you can like kind of call those two things interchangeably. And I just remember taking like the SkyTrain to work and going downtown Vancouver and saying like, yeah, this is not it.
Right.
But there must be more. And that kind of led, I had 3 good years there, did a lot of recruiting.
And what was that? What was that opportunity? Yeah.
I was a managing partner for a startup business that focused on specializing in repairing windshields.
Oh, yeah.
On all vehicle type, models, and makes.
Right.
And the cool thing about that is we did it in the summertime. So we focused a lot of our efforts on training university students.
Right.
So they brought me on to really expand the business in BC. So we had one person, and then by the time I left 3 years later, we were up to, my territory was up to close to 30, 40.
Wow.
And the company as a whole was over 200.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have massive growth.
Great growth, yeah.
So as a collective, we had 50 employees when I first joined, and by the time we left, we're over 200.
Wow.
Yeah, it was scary, but it was a lot of fun, a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
And as I finished my term with that company, I stuck out for 3 years because that's what our agreement was. And, I had no complaints or no regrets. I actually learned a lot. It's funny how sometimes you don't think you learn anything.
Yeah.
And it takes a few years later for you to kind of like look back and compound the actual absorption that you took away from that career path.
Exactly. That's what you were talking about earlier before we started recording, that basically hindsight's 2020, and you look back and see how neatly everything fit together and tied together and what you got out of it. But you don't see it until after the fact and look back.
Things always look so blurry going forward, hey?
Yeah.
Like, there's just so much anticipation. There's so much what ifs. Expectations. And a lot of nervousness as well, right? Because there's almost like, regardless of what you do, I think there's always like an underlying fear. Yeah. Because you don't want to not do well at what you're doing. Yeah. And you always want to be...
You don't want to be doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, but I don't ever think there's a wrong thing, though, because I believe if you're doing something that is, helping you get to that evolution point in your life, I think that's like very valuable versus the money. Money, it's as you grow, it becomes less valuable. Yeah, like in my eyes too.
Yeah, but it's not about money; it's about what the money represents for you. So, if I had money, what am I looking to purchase? And whatever I'm looking to purchase is whatever fits my core values. And it's the superficial version of those core values. And so, if we look at money as just simply appreciation. I'm showing appreciation for me by investing in this thing. Yeah. And whoever's investing in me is showing appreciation for me as well. And so if we see it as appreciation, we can just see it for what it is, because money itself has no value. It's what we do with it.
Yeah, it's so true. And, as I worked, working with another growing business and leading a sales organization, it's really remarkable to see like how much potential people really have. Yeah. Right. It's really amazing when you see someone like put their nose to the dirt and just relentlessly go after what they want. Yeah. And not let anything get in their way, especially objection or self-doubt. Yes. And they get to the finish line. It's cool. It's very really rewarding. Cool. It's a very, very rewarding experience.
Because when you see it in others, you have it in yourself.
Yeah, and there's always that, as a leader or as any type of person like that's leading a movement, you really want to know that the people that you're taking on this journey with you are really getting something out of it. Right. Yeah. That's the worst thing, right? You sell this crazy opportunity. You sell this pitch that you're going to change someone's life. Yeah. And 9 out of 10 times you actually do it. Yeah. And the people that quit early are the ones that are always going to kind of look for the easy way out.
Yes, exactly.
It's almost like a disease, hey?
It is a disease.
It's like a cancer. It's like it's like a little cell in the brain that's saying like, there's something easier. Yeah. But then there's never something easier, because it always stays just as hard, regardless of whatever you do. Yeah. Especially if you want to evolve. Yeah. And get to that next tier in your life. There's a next hard thing. There's always the next hard thing. The next hard choice. The next hard decision.
And if you're not living your dream, life is hard. So do you want life to be difficult working in the direction of where you want to go, or do you want life to be difficult working in the direction you don't want to go? And it's the difference between acute pain where I have to work really hard for a period of time to get where I want to go. Or chronic pain, I won't work hard at all, right? And so I'll just fall into things and never be satisfied, never be fulfilled. And so it'll be chronically hard. It'll be hard to get up in the morning, as opposed to easy to get up in the morning, excited, inspired, and difficult tasks throughout the day that I actually enjoy.
You know what's funny, Pat? Like, I never realized that as you age, your body does change. Like, I got aches and pains now, and like I'm only turning 29, and the struggle is real. Like, when I was young, I'm like, nah, it's never gonna happen. But like now, I'm a lot more conscious of what I choose to do now, and how long it takes to recover. Because when you're young, it's so fast, and you don't notice it. But now it's like if you play a game of ice hockey, you're sore, especially if you push yourself. Same thing with a game of soccer. Holy God. Like my knees, my thighs, my shins. And it took like 5 days to recover.
Well, it does as you get old. But you get smarter as you get older, too. I have a lot less aches and pains at 50 than I did at 30. A lot less. And I'm lifting pretty much the same, squatting over 400.
Holy smokes. Yeah, because now, like, I got these cracks in my shoulders.
Right.
And I don't know what it is. I think it's just like the joints kind of decompressing as I stretch it out. But it's like...
Could be. Could be an imbalance, right, between proprioceptive tonic muscles and the phasic muscles, the dynamic muscles, and just an imbalance from front to back between agonist and antagonist muscles, creating, you're literally through the strength, and the bigger you get, tearing yourself apart, right, as opposed to holding yourself together and becoming stronger.
It's so crazy. I was driving here from I live in the Lower Mainland, so as I was driving here, it took like close to 40 minutes just to get to the ferry. And I think I was the last person to get on the ferry. So sometimes you make your own luck, right?
Right.
I really feel that way. Like you make your own luck, and you actually push the envelope of your life.
I think you make your own everything. Right? I think we are creators. And we create everything, good and bad, in our lives. And when we look at it that way, then life changes. You're never a victim of life. You're always the creator. You have responsibility rather than responsibility, like as a weight. It's and you're inspired rather than motivated. And that's exciting.
Yeah, being inspired is awesome. Like I think when you find something that you're going to be doing, that drives you, makes you want to work late. Makes you want to be resourceful. Not just trying to have resources. It's another level of thinking. It's another level of development. It's a different approach.
It's a totally different approach. In fact, even the words it makes you want to work late. For me, that's more often associated with motivation. Right? If I'm motivated, I'll work hard. But if I'm inspired, I'll play at this. From other people's perspective, it looks like I'm working hard because I'm putting in 16-hour days and I'm really focused and passionate about what I'm doing, and it looks like hard work from the outside. But really, I'm playing at it. It's play for me because it's what excites me. So I'm inspired, I play. I'm motivated, I work. Right? And for me, motivation is fear and shame, and inspired is love. I love what I do. I love who I am. I love the people I do it with. I'm inspired. I'm doing it despite myself. I'm motivated. I'm doing it because I'm afraid to stay where I am now. I'm doing it because I'm ashamed of where I am now. I'm motivated to go somewhere else. As opposed to, I love who I am now, where I am now, but I'm inspired to do something different, something more. I'm inspired to expand on everything that's wonderful about me instead of minimize everything that's not.
It takes a different energy level, too.
Totally, If I'm inspired, I can work all day long, never get tired. If I'm motivated or I'm working hard, well, God, I'm tired all day long. And if I'm really dedicated and commitment, I'll work through that pain. I'll work through that struggle. I'll work through that fatigue. But if I'm inspired, there's nothing to work through. Right? It's play. And it's like I forget to go to sleep because I'm so busy doing something that's exciting for me.
100%. And, I guess this is a tipping point in everyone's life when they, their eyes open.
Yeah.
And, thankfully, working with the people that I got to work with, it took me to like a different tipping point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people have confidence, but there's like another level of confidence.
Yeah.
That comes with like relentless hard work.
Mm-hmm.
You almost have like a tunnel vision of what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't always necessarily know the road that you're gonna take, but you put that energy there. You throw it out there.
That willingness to take the next step.
Yeah.
And realize that step will lead you to the next step. But what most people do is say, here's what I want, here's all the steps, I need to know what they are before I start. And so I never start.
Yeah.
Right? Because I can't picture how it'll all unfold. Instead of just taking the step, because we always know what the next step is, taking that step and seeing where it leads.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, like, we talked about this earlier, like they build self-value from what they make.
Right.
But also, like, what are you making per hour? What are you making, per day? What are you making per year?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all they look into, like, when they're, searching for an opportunity.
Yeah.
So how much am I worth right now? But it's like, you gotta disconnect yourself from that and look at how much am I worth if I add this to my repertoire, if I add public speaking to my game, if I become a leader of tons of people, if I can sell anything, if I can be innovative in a boardroom, if I can always add value by, coming up with solutions.
Mm-hmm.
Then like, the sky's the limit with how much you can take away from things.
Exactly. And there's another way of looking at that. It's like, if I'm going to look at my worth, right? And then what can I add? What can I do in a boardroom? What kind of negotiation skills do I have? What kind of sales skills? What kind of leadership skills? And for me, that builds worth in my repertoire.
Yeah.
Not in me.
100%.
Like, for me, I'm invaluable. Like, there is nothing that is worth more than me. Yeah. Like, for me, my self-worth comes from a place of well beyond that. But I build up the worth of my repertoire. Mm. And I try not to confuse the two, right? My repertoire is becoming more and more valuable.
Yeah.
But I can't become more valuable because I'm infinitely valuable.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm love, I am perfection. But what I do is imperfect. Behaviors, attributes, all of those. So that I can perfect on, that I can create worth on. And so my saleability in the marketplace goes way up. But my self-worth doesn't, right? And if I'm looking for the strength or value of my repertoire to give me a sense of self-worth, I'll never feel worthy. Right? Because no matter what I do, there's somebody doing more. Or no matter what I do, I know I can do more. And so I get caught up in my worth being what I do rather than who I really am. Yeah. And then you get lost, right? Because there's never enough.
Yeah, it's always like a constant comparison, right? But if you look yourself, in the mirror and you can see your own soul, I think that's powerful.
Yeah, it's absolutely powerful.
And it's crazy because, like, you know what? If you're 100% genuine and organic in who you are, you attract the right people in your life.
Absolutely.
I really I feel like if you're 100% honest with the energy that you put out there and with your intentions with everybody, like, there's just the universe aligns for you to meet certain people at the right time.
Absolutely. And it works the other way, too.
Yeah.
Works the other way. I mean, you definitely attract who you are, right? And you see things not as they are, but as you are.
Yeah.
And the problem with that, building my worth through repertoire, it's all about comparing, right? Because if my worth is my repertoire, I see myself going up in value compared to other people.
Yeah.
So now I'm worth more than this person because I have all this in my repertoire. But to the degree I believe I'm better than this person, another part of me knows I'm worse than this person.
Gotcha.
So I'm never actually satisfied, right? And so if I realize I can never be better than anyone, right, on a true level, right, on a spiritual level, and they can never be better than me, then I do all I do because it's the game I enjoy playing.
Right.
And I play it the very best. And whatever game I play, I want to be the very best at that game, right? But that has nothing to do with my worth.
100%.
Because if I feel I'm better than you because I have more stuff in my repertoire, well, I must feel I'm worse than someone else.
Exactly.
Especially if we tunnel vision what we want to be good at.
Yeah.
Right? If what we want to be good at is a great leader, a great businessman, right? Then we would look up to Donald Trump. And that's not a person I look up to.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of stuff in his repertoire that are admirable. But as a person, you know, I'm not down with Don. Yeah. So you have to be careful. We talked about it earlier before the recording of fitting in.
Right.
And sometimes fitting in is trying to be better than. Right. I want to fit in with the in crowd. I want to fit in with the exceptional, the rich, the powerful.
Right.
Right. And you have to be careful where you fit in, because where you fit in might be incredibly uncomfortable. Comfortable on one level, uncomfortable on another.
It's very true. There's always an assumption that's always better on the other side.
Absolutely. Grass is always greener, right? Grass is always greener. And then you get there and you got all kinds of other troubles.
Yeah, it's true, right?
Yeah.
It's messed up. It really is.
It was terrible. It's terrible not having any money. Oh, God, now that I have all this money, now I have to worry about investing it. I got to worry about losing it. I got to worry about what to do with it. I got to worry about making more, you know? And so it's not better, just different. That's why you asked me, you know, when you came in, like, how you doing? And I said, couldn't be better.
Yeah.
Because it couldn't. It could be different. I could have a lot of money and a lot of different problems.
Yeah.
Right? So it wouldn't be better. It would be better if we break down small areas and we take little aspects of what it is and make that better or worse. But overall, it can never be better. And I can never be better than you.
I feel that. I really, when you said that, really, triggered in my mind. And, I look back in the last 2 years of growing this sales organization with some elite, epic people. It's like, you really deserve where you are. You get an understanding of sometimes whenever you get to a certain table or you get to a certain, opportunity, you kind of question, do I actually deserve to be here? Mm-hmm. And if you get to any table in your life, regardless if it's a dinner table at the boardroom, or whatever type of opportunity you're in, you deserve to be there.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I really learned. Because there's always that question, did I fluke out? Right? Did I get lucky?
Yeah.
But you got to put an effort to get lucky.
You do. Yeah. You said it earlier, you create your own luck. I don't even believe in luck. I believe in creation. And so you create where you are and you create where you aren't. And you got to be careful of that deserve thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you look at the word, it's deserve. So how do I not serve myself?
Right.
By believing I need to do something in order to deserve where I am.
Gotcha.
And I don't need to do anything to deserve where I am, right? I need to believe in my value in the first place, believe in my worth.
Yeah.
And then I attract all of that, right? So deserve, the idea that I deserve something also carries with it the implication that there's other things I don't deserve.
Right.
And I'm here because I deserve to be here. But there's a part of me that wants to be there. And I must believe I don't deserve to be there because I'm not there yet.
Oh, interesting.
So really watch the language and say, it's like saying if I said to you, why do you deserve to be loved?
Right.
Right? And what you'll do is list off your repertoire.
Yeah.
I'm a nice person. I care about people. I've got money. I'm a good leader. I'm supportive. Right? I donate my time to important tasks. And what you've just done is made love conditional.
Yeah.
Right? But if you are love, at your essence, if you are love, then how can you deserve what you already are? Deserving love actually takes it away from you because you think there's things I need to do in order to deserve love.
Very interesting.
So it makes you very small. And then what you're really saying is my repertoire deserves love. Forget about me.
Right.
Right? And so that actually minimizes you. And so you can actually be more successful by realizing my repertoire has nothing to do with my worth, but it's a game that I play that is exciting to me. Right? Like climbing Everest or playing Monopoly. Whatever is exciting or fun for you, you do. Not because you have to in order to be worth more or to be loved, but because it's fun for you. And any game we play, we want to win. So go out and win, but no winning doesn't make you any better than anyone else.
But I love that desire to win, though.
Yeah, of course. Because it makes you better.
Yeah.
Right? Competition is healthy when you look at it that way.
Oh, 100%.
The desire to win makes you be the best you can possibly be. And by being the best you can possibly be, you're inviting your opponent, your competitor, your colleague, to be the best they can really be. The worst thing you can do for somebody else is be less than so they can win. Right?
Right.
Because if you're less than so they can win, you're inviting them to be less than they can be too. So by all means, compete. Right? But compete from a place of, I'm bringing it all up.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? All ships rise with the tide.
Yeah, and that's why you gotta really surround yourself with, like, you know, the right people.
Yeah.
It goes back to energy level. Like, you know, are these people helping you, you know, get to your next progression in business, you know, personal life, or whatever it may be. Like, and as you age, you see that more and more.
Yeah,
You see
exactly.
that more and more.
Well, you will surround yourself with the people you are. Like, look around yourself and see them as mirrors, right? And so, and when you get somebody that's in your life that's reflecting what you don't want to see, right, that doesn't fit with your values, you say, well, what part of me is still stuck there? What part of me still has that or is intolerant of that, and therefore I'm stuck to it? What you resist persists, right? So surrounding yourself with the right people is often surrounding yourself with people that trigger the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can learn more from them.
It's so true. It's so true.
You'll at the same time, you're surrounding yourself with really cool people that reflect all the values you love about yourself, and that's cool because it shows you're on the right track. But when you're on the right track, you get complacent.
All right.
Right? So you need the other people to trigger the shit out of you so you can say, hey, whoa, like there's still stuff I gotta either heal or forgive or learn tolerance for so I can let it go. Because I'll be stuck to that. And I see these people as holding me back. It's really me holding me back because of my resistance to the part of me these people represent.
So true.
And so I love it when people trigger me. I love it when people challenge me. I love it when I feel myself being intolerant to someone. Because I actually look at it and go, okay, what part of me is this representing? What is this person teaching me to let go of? Right? So I can be more of who I really am rather than more of who I think I am.
Man, 29, Pat, like, 29 is where I'm going to be in like 2 days. I feel like I'm getting younger in a way.
I do too.
You know, I feel like I'm
at 5'0".
Yeah. I feel less stress nowadays.
Yeah.
And that's because I've gone through so much, I wouldn't say pain, but so much experiences.
Adversity,
that really toughens you up on another level. Like on a mental capacity level, emotional intelligence level.
Well, you've had more problems, so you've solved more problems.
Yeah, that's it, right?
So if you've solved more problems, you're more comfortable having more problems. Right?
Yeah, that's just it. I think, like, people get stuck because they hate solving problems.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean,
you need to be a problem solver if you want to, like, get anywhere in this world.
It's part of the game. Like we said, we're playing this game. And so if you're any game that's worth its value has problems in it, things to solve, things to overcome. And so I want problems because I don't learn from everything going well.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And that's why you say I love to win, but I also love to lose, because when I lose, that's what has me go back to the drawing board. When I win, complacency again. I'm doing everything right. I got to find another opponent that can challenge me to lose so I can learn more, so I can be better.
Yeah, it's winning is cool, but losing sucks. It's a different pain.
Yeah.
It's like more. It's more. It hurts more to lose than to like win a lot.
You change your perspective, though. Yeah. That whole perspective, losing sucks, will cause you to learn less from it. Right? If you look at it as losing is cool because it brings up things I didn't know before.
Yeah.
It opens the door to what I didn't know.
Yeah, you're what you're unconsciously confident at, huh?
That's right. And so I'm happy to lose when I've given it my best because my best can be better.
Gotcha. Like, that's a good perspective.
Right? And if my best can be better, this is teaching me what I can improve that I wasn't focused on.
Yeah.
I thought I had it all under control and I would win, but I didn't win. So there's more to me, to my repertoire, than I even knew. And so thank you for the loss because that's teaching me a lot more than a win does.
That's true.
Right? Winning feels good, but it's
short term.
Right? You win and you go, I won. I feel good. I can celebrate. I can relax. But losing sucks because I can't relax. I can't celebrate. I have to go back to work.
Yeah.
But that brings us back to the earlier conversation. If I see work as work, then losing sucks. But if I see work as play, as expansion, then it doesn't suck at all.
Right.
So not only does losing not suck because it teaches me something, the work that results from losing doesn't suck because I see work as play, as expansion, as creativity, instead of due diligence, a chain around my ankles, right? A hammer in my hand.
Yeah, and just what summer around, like I love this time of year.
Yeah.
We're getting close to May. Summer's around the corner.
It's new beginnings.
I was part of this group, like kind of a just like a mastermind group, and then we're going through some material, and there's just this one point when they're like, yeah, if you really look at it, you only have like so many summers left.
Right.
Right? And I'm like, oh shit, I'm like 29. If I 20 more summers, I'm 50.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You're where I am.
Right? It's not saying that the age is a different thing, but this is a whole different perspective of looking at it.
Yeah.
20 summers doesn't seem that much.
Yeah.
Right? Because just like, one comes after another, comes after another, and then one day you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
5-0.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But I'm here to tell you 5-0 is better than any other age I've ever had before.
100%.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I'm living my dream. I travel when I want. I have an amazing lifestyle.
Yeah.
I live in a 9,000 square foot house. I walk downstairs to my place of business and my enormous gym.
Yeah.
Right? And my sense of self-worth is off the charts, right? And it's not in an arrogant way. It's in a, like, my self-worth is no higher than yours, right? I've just found a way to see it in a way I never did before. That requires no conditions. That requires no proof or evidence.
Right.
It's just there. So it's amazing. But what you're saying is, if I look at it that way, I only have so many summers left until I'm 50. What you're basically saying there, if you take it further, is I only have so many summers till I die. And that's the beautiful thing about death. Death for me is a beautiful, beautiful thing because it gives purpose to life.
Yeah.
Without death, there'd be no point in doing anything.
It's true.
Right? I can put it off. We do that anyway, right? Anything I can put off till tomorrow, I'll put off till tomorrow because I got plenty of time.
Yeah.
But if I know I'm going to die tomorrow, right, I won't put anything off that I really want to do. I won't do the things that aren't important to me. I will do the things that are. We should do that every day, right? Live as if you're dying tomorrow.
And it's so funny. I always hear people say, like, oh, I wish I was 21 again. I wish I was 22 again. But then if I really look back at it, like, when I was 22, I didn't really know anything. I didn't, have anything that was, any reputation of, what my life is now.
Yeah.
Really? Because it comes as you age.
It unfolds and expands, whereas why would I want to make myself smaller by getting younger?
Yeah.
I only want to get younger if I have regrets.
Yeah.
But if I look back at 21, I wasn't happy at 21. Nothing was enough. I was doing drugs and drinking back then. I was partying to cover up all my unhappiness, right? And I had no sense of true purpose. And so why would I? And then you say, well, if I knew what I knew now then, I would do things totally differently.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what I know now if I did things differently. So that's the point. I needed to do that. I needed to make mistakes. I needed to live that way so that I could learn, right? And that's what you were just talking about, right? The idea that my problems and my thing that I have overcome make me more relaxed at 29 than I was at 23.
Yeah.
Right? Because I actually can take things more in stride. I've solved thousands of problems as opposed to hundreds of problems. And so now a problem comes, it's not a big deal. In fact, part of me gets excited about a problem I've never seen before.
But I also think as you age, you get bigger lenses.
Yeah.
In how you look at things.
Yeah, you see the big picture more and you become more resilient.
Yeah.
Right? Unless you live in fear, and then it gets worse and worse, and where you become smaller.
Then you also trust your instincts a lot.
Yeah.
Intuition.
Yeah.
You also don't need the validation.
Yeah.
From others.
That's right.
Because you developed it over time and
you're
proven.
In fact, if you're looking for validation from others, you're probably heading down the wrong road. Because if you're looking for validation for others, then your life will be about doing the things that are important to others.
Yeah.
Right, to get that validation. But if you're doing the things that are important to you, you won't need their validation. But if you make their validation more important than your own joy, than your own validation, then you'll do what you think is important to others. Well, I think it's important to others that I make money. I think it's important to others that I have this particular kind of woman in my life. I think it's important to others that I have this kind of business. I think it's important to others that I have a Ferrari, right? And so I'll do all those things, and they're not really important to me.
Right.
But I feel important because other people look at me as important. They don't realize how stressed I am from being inauthentic.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Stress of being inauthentic and keeping it up for a long period of time.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work.
Now, if I do those things and they come to me naturally and I actually do them for me, but they're not the be-all and end-all, they're a result of the be-all and end-all, then I can enjoy those things. But if I make those things more important than me, and I make others, what I think others' vision of me more important than me, I've abandoned me.
Gotcha.
And I'm worth less.
That's good. That's a really good way to analyze that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, how long has this been, Pat? It's been like, what, half hour?
I don't know.
Yeah, time flies when we're just chatting, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, let's...
So, tell me one thing. I have a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
The last business you were in, where you were the managing partner, you were there for 3 years.
Yeah.
What you like about that? What was great about that? Why'd you leave? And what do you like about your current situation? Better and...
Well, I think when I first joined, the responsibilities of being a managing partner, the commitment to it, because I had to put some money up front, and it's almost like the idea of what you can do.
Right.
It's like I was 23, fresh out of university, had an epiphany that I didn't want to become a personal advisor.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like I just attracted that to my life. I just went with it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I liked was I was really held accountable to what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I was part of this rapid expansion, which is really cool. Which, you're part of this whole movement. And what I really like and what I always like is helping young people, students,
Mm-hmm.
really come out of their shell and just give some guidance in what I have to provide as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
But my one thing I didn't like about it was I traveled a lot.
Really?
I drove a lot.
Yeah.
I put 100 clicks on my car.
Wow. Yeah.
In 3 years, 100,000 clicks.
Wow.
I just drive
Like
back.
all within the province, or
Yeah, within the province, going to Alberta as well.
really?
So kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's very autonomous,
Right.
which is something that like.
That's one thing about travel. Yeah, is you're nobody's telling you what to do in your ear or over your shoulder.
Yeah. So like there's a sense of independence, but on the flip side, there's this sense of like loneliness.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like when you're young in your university, you have this fantasy that traveling for work is so awesome because you're seeing the world, you're in a different place all the time, but then you neglect how much value being at home is.
Yeah. Yeah. Home base roots are
roots.
important. Yeah.
And that was something that like was tough. Was tough at first, but you deal with it and you evolve.
And is that why you left, or?
Well, I left because my term was over, and I wanted to start my own business.
Right.
So I took a trip to Asia for like a few months. I wasn't really planning on working for another company, but then sometimes life happens and opportunities come your way, and I'm an optimist. So I sat down with the people that wanted me to be a part of the last organization I was with, and I had no regrets. I was actually very privileged to get the chance to work with those people.
Yeah.
And I feel like I grew a lot.
Yeah.
Because from my first gig out of university, I probably like 1.5x my learning.
Right.
Because I was very autonomous, and then like I took this. So in 3 years, I 1.5x that. And I think in 2 years at my last organization in my position, I probably 10x that in 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was tough. It was challenging. It was hard. It was intimidating at times. But you show up and you swing every single day, and you progress. With the mentorship, and you progress on your own as well, and you take ownership of everything that you're responsible for.
Yeah.
And you add that. You add that to your repertoire, and you add that to your confidence value, and day by day, you get stronger and stronger, and then you really start to buy into your own hype.
Yeah. Right.
And that's why I saw like the biggest transition when I started really buying into my own hype.
Yeah.
Because you have to.
Yeah.
If you're not, no one else is, right? And
that's right.
When I made that switch, and that trigger switch is like, okay.
Yeah.
Not only do I belong here, but I'm the best person for this.
Right. Yeah. So it's no longer hype.
Yeah.
It's
just it becomes reality.
It becomes reality.
Right.
Exactly.
It's like it becomes test. You test it, you drive it, and it becomes true.
Yeah. Cool.
You prove it. You prove it to yourself, and you prove it to like everyone else.
So a lot of believing your own hype or becoming your own hype is a bit of fake it till you make it.
I don't really think it's fake it till
or it's not hype. It's not hype if it's not faked, right?
Yeah.
Hype is faked, right?
Yeah.
So,
but I think like you have that hype in your head,
right?
But you're not like presenting to other people, but like you believe it in your head so much.
Yeah.
I think that's what you need to do in any high performing activity, business, sports, whatever it is. You need to have that edge.
Yeah. And so you have to believe it. Yeah. So it's not really hype. It's more. It's a sense of I believe who I am. Now I got to go out and show people.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's crazy when that trigger switch comes on.
Yeah.
And you know what to do.
Yeah.
You can be put in any position.
Yeah. Exactly.
Any position, and you'll find the solution for it.
That's right.
And I think that's one of the biggest things that I really
enjoyed about.
And I enjoyed, and I was very blessed to be able to get exposed to that.
And so, what made you decide it was the time to leave?
Very much like my last transition. Another opportunity came my way that I always wanted to pursue.
Yeah.
And I never had the right mentors.
Right.
Or the right partners.
Right.
So now, I've with my new venture, I have people in that space that I can really learn from.
Right.
And now that I have all this experience, like being a leader, being a sales consultant, and all that jazz, I bring another level to what they have.
Cool.
And together, it's like synergy.
Right.
To get that next level together.
Awesome. Yeah. 1 + 1 = 3.
Yeah, and I feel like my headspace is at an all-time like high. Yeah. Because of everything I've gone through. Yeah. And then like now I can like see a further vision. Yeah. Of everything that I want in my life, and I just make it happen. Cool. I just make it happen, and like I'll do what it takes. Right. On a daily, like you have that mindset, right? Yeah. And that's one thing. It's just right timing.
Yeah.
I love the organization I was with. No regrets.
Yeah.
All amazing things I learned from it. The people, and the mentorship, and just the exposure to like, you know, $1 billion corporation and what it takes to get to that level, right? And, you know, anytime you play in the majors, you become better.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens, if you make it to the majors in any field, you get better.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to, because everything happens faster and bigger, right? And the consequences are bigger.
Yeah.
Right, both ways.
100%.
Yeah. And so what's the new opportunity and why does it speak to you?
I've always been interested in online business.
Yeah.
I've always been interested in e-commerce and everything else that goes along with that.
Yeah.
And the freedom to be able to do it from anywhere.
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
The ability to 100x something, and the ability to work with different people and learn new leadership skills.
Right.
So I was able to do it in a sales environment.
Yeah.
And I want to see if I could do it in like, you know, a tech environment, a different office condition, and really test myself.
Cool.
Because I want to see how good I can become, because, you know, my vision for myself in the future is pretty big.
Yeah.
So I always have to grow. I always have to like add new things, or I can't get to that guy down the road. And
this seems like the step to do that.
Yeah.
Cool. And have you started this then?
Monday.
Really? Oh, good for you. Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so it's kind of like,
that's perfect.
There's a bit of like, you know, almost like, I would say destiny, but it's almost destined to happen.
Yeah, I would say so.
And then for it to happen like on my birthday, and for it to kind of transition in that way.
Did you ever say to yourself, I want to be a certain place by the time I'm 30?
I had an idea. Like, I didn't know what kind of place it was. I had an idea of like glimpse and parts of who I wanted to be.
Yeah.
I wanted to, you know, be a speaker.
Right.
I wanted to be in some type of leadership role. I wanted to work with, you know, a big company.
Right.
I wanted to have, you know, some traveling experience.
Right.
And, you know, it's funny because I wrote all these things down. I wrote it down in this book. And then slowly,
but you never actually thought of the age 30 and think, that's a transition time for me, or that's an accomplishment time for me.
Well, I think
because it seems interesting that it's happening on your birthday, 29, which gives you a year.
Yeah, it's crazy,
right? To do something big by the time you're 30.
Yeah.
So if any part of you said to yourself, "Hey, by the time I'm 30, I want to know I've arrived. At least I'm well on my way."
Yeah.
And this has to be the perfect time to leave or to start something new, if that's
it's crazy,
the case.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the universe is so crazy.
Yeah, because think of what you can do in a year. Think about what you were doing in 1 year at 23.
Yeah.
And what you've done at 1 year at 28.
Yeah.
Right? You said 1.5x compared to 10x.
Yeah.
Right? Well, so if that's 10 times, then maybe you can 100x from 29 to 30.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Who knows? And that would be exciting. That's a good game.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that to me doesn't make you worth any more.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Like for me, you couldn't be worth any more. Like you're perfect the way you are.
Yeah.
But it makes your game pretty damn cool.
Yeah, right?
Pretty damn admirable. And that I can get excited about. But I, as a person, as a friend, would never want you thinking, I'd think more of you if you did that, because I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't think more of you, right? You are perfect, right? What you do, I could think more of, but I don't make what you do who you are.
Right.
Okay, so I'll think that's really cool. I'll want to be included. Yeah. I'll want you to call me up and say, here's what's happening this week, Pat. You wouldn't believe it. And I will get so excited for your game. But know that you cannot be better based on that. But your game will be.
Yeah, I'm thinking to like, you know, the major. So
yeah,
man,
yeah,
what a conversation, Pat. And I think it's a good time to wrap it up. It's been probably 45 minutes or over. But it's easy to go over that length when you're having a very inspiring and very fun conversation, right? And let's not wait for that many months to go by again. So I'll give you an update with how things are in my life, and I'll do the same.
I'm excited, and I will. Yeah.
Thanks again for tuning in to Living at the Highest Level. We'll see you next week.